We've all been battling this addiction since we were children. I stumbled across P when I was only 10 years old, and it changed my life forever. For 6 years after that day, I was compulsively viewing P against my own will. It's all I could think about. I was anxious, I was shy, and even at some points I felt depressed. I was told that this was totally normal and that everyone does it. But in reality, that's even more alarming. After 6 years, I finally kicked my addiction and started making YouTube videos at the age of 17, teaching people how to end their P addiction. My comment sections, my DMs, my emails were flooded from young adults explaining how early they stumbled across P and the horrible ramifications that it has caused in their own lives. Most of you were only 9 years old and some as early as 7. So I've made a full-length documentary gathering all of the scientific literature on children's early onset exposure to pornography, and here are some of the most shocking studies that we have come across yet. The similarities between the brains of P addicts and hard drug addicts through fMRI imaging of their brains, as you can see, they are shockingly similar. This study concludes that the observation of stronger activations of these regions in P addicts versus healthy volunteer participants is similar to findings observed for substance cues and substance addictions, suggesting neurobiological similarities across the disorders. In normal English, this means porn addiction is similar to hard drugs like cocaine. Another study found that children who consume P are not only more likely to commit sexual acts of violence, but when they see others being sexually harassed and abused, they're less likely to do anything about it. This study into juvenile sex offenders reveals that 3 out of 4 of them have a P addiction. Ted Bundy, the notorious American serial killer and R-word, who himself took the lives of over 30 women, says,
people need to recognize those of us who have been influenced by pornographic violence are not some kinds of inherent monsters. We are your sons and we are your husbands. We grew up in regular families. And pornography can reach out and snatch a kid out of any house today. It snatched me out of my home, but I've lived in prison for a long time now. And I've met a lot of men who were motivated to commit violence just like me. And without exception, every one of them was deeply involved in pornography, without question, without exception, deeply influenced and consumed by an addiction to pornography.
Ted, what would your life have been like without that influence?
It would have been a lot better for me and lots of other people. I know that. Lots of other innocent people, victims and families. A life that would not have involved, I'm absolutely certain, would not have involved this kind of violence that I have committed.
And on top of all of that, these devastating effects harm children who aren't even directly watching P themselves, with 1 in 5 children having been sent unwanted sexual material online. Something has to be done to reverse this sickening trend of children being exposed to porn, and you can do something about it. We must come together as a community, as a movement, to demand that there are restrictions set in place to prevent children from accessing the new drug. Pornography is the cigarette of our generation. The main difference is that you're asked for your ID when you buy a pack of cigarettes. The best chance we have at protecting our children is by asking lawmakers to set on-device adult content filtering. This means that new phones and tablets will come with content filters that automatically block adult videos by default. Adults themselves are able to remove these filters as they wish by proving and verifying their age. Now, this sets the standard at child safety first, only giving access to those who prove they are of legal age. In the description, you will find a template statement written by us to send to your political representatives wherever you are in the world, along with most of their contact information. It highlights real and actionable steps that they can take to implement on-device filtering to prevent children from being exposed to this new drug of pornography. Let them hear your voice. We can only make this change if we all take action. I'm talking specifically to the person who's watching this video from a distance and doesn't normally get involved with this kind of stuff. Listen, if you have younger siblings, if you plan to have children of your own, write this email or pick up the phone and call your local reps. Do it for them, do it for your children. Then once you're done, comment down below which rep you talked to and tell us exactly how it went. I'm looking forward to seeing thousands of comments from you guys, and I'm going to be responding to as many as I possibly humanly can. Please, you have absolutely nothing to lose by protecting the eyes of billions of children to come. We've all suffered from the ease of access to pornography, and a lot of us have not even recovered yet. Let us be an example and do not let our struggle go to waste. Together we can bring light to the truth and we can back it with science, and most importantly, we can save our youth.